total. Hopefully they can step up today because we're about to get underway. It's going to be Miramar, and it's going to once again be brought to you by the two handsome gentlemen to my left-hand side, Paper Thin and Valdez.
All right, well, let's kick things off.
You're welcome for the compliment.
Number 3. I was just so taken aback. I mean, Jason's so handsome. Like, that's a really high compliment.
You were lost in his doe eyes, right?
I'll give you your money after the game. Don't worry.
All right, thank you. Yeah. All right, so we're starting the plane path over Impala. This is a very brutal plane path. We're going south. We're starting at Impala, which is already pretty well down there, and then we're going more south. This is not going to be easy for the teams that want to go north. There could be some congestion over the vehicles early on. So this is this one ought to be a little more interesting out the gate, I feel like.
Yeah, it's we saw a lot of plane paths that were kind of standard yesterday, but then they ended up having some pretty crazy circles. But as you did mention, this is a bit different of a flight path, and it will be very difficult to make it up to the top side. Vehicle's going to be quite valuable on this kind of a flight path. And yeah, it's interesting to go into the international teams once again here. I feel like the international teams overall played a little bit slower, a little bit more careful compared to the MENA teams yesterday. But you know what? It changes day by day. You know, there could have been a bit of nerves in the first day. Could have been just getting used to playing on the stage. And now everything changes up. It's day 2. We got new maps. And these teams are going to be fighting for their chance to make it in as, well, Kitsune's got a pistol, trying to see if he can get a bit of damage done, but not quite able to there.
Yeah, this was one of the ones I was looking at on the map as everybody was dropping. Unique and Queso kind of trying to get that easternmost road and get the vehicles and get moving up to wherever they feel like going, whether that be El Azahar or Tierra Branca, something like that. But for now, the circle does reveal itself. A pretty fair circle overall, centered around La Bendita, so you've got a bit of room to work with here. And the first circles will be going a little faster today. We should mention that. There was about 120 seconds on the first one. Now we're down to 60 seconds. So,
Oh, boy.
Somebody got run over. ETG, you jinxed him, Jason. He's over here throwing his hands up. Entity Gaming, another team that we thought would be one of the favorites coming into this with a bit of a struggle early on.
Yeah, we only saw Neo go down there, so we didn't actually get to see that on our screen, how that happened, but he got ran over after getting knocked by an AK. So perhaps separated from the rest of his teammates, he gets punished for that. And we saw that plague some of the teams yesterday. Even Top Esports a couple of times had their scouting player or their separated player get chopped off, and it did not mean that good things were coming for that team later on. So we'll have to wait and see what that does mean for Entity Gaming later on.
Yeah, it's one of these things I talked a bit about yesterday with the 1-3 splits. They're kind of feast or famine. If your lead player, that one player, that solo man, can get out ahead, get the information successfully, find a safe way into a central circle location, get yourselves a nice little compound or a little defensive spot that you like, then absolutely it can work out really well. But if that scout gets killed early on, then a lot of times it throws the teams into disarray and they're not willing to split up anymore to try to get that scouting information, and then they might get caught out as a 3-man or something like that, and or they'll roll into a 4-man squad as a 3 and just get outnumbered. So it makes it challenging for sure.
Now we're just taking a look at some of the teams here that we did have. We were looking at Unique on your screen. They kind of were middle of the pack yesterday. They ended up getting 5 points per round just from placement, but only 5 kills over the entirety of the 2 maps. So not too much action from them. But then you take a look over here at Vox Gaming. They were part of a lot of the action yesterday. So definitely picking up a bunch of kills, getting killed themselves a bunch as well. So gonna have to try to straighten that up.
Well, they've got Picado, which is generally, a lot of people think, one of the best spots on this map, of course. Centrally located, good vehicle spawns available, good loot available. So they've got that going for them on, Miramar here at least. They definitely need to turn it around. Like you said, they saw a lot of action. And in game number 2, they had 5 kills, so they won a team fight. But then the second one didn't quite go their way. And they're looking to turn things around. They've got Elementrix right next to them, who is already kind of making their way south of Picado. The red cannons on your screen are kind of split up in a 2-2 thing right now. 2 of them are stuck in Los Leones. You can see Maxon's a little bit nervous here. He's out near the western edge of Los Leones there. And the other two have made their way up towards La Bendita, so we'll see if the other two members of the Red Cannons can catch up to their teammates.
Yeah, it can be awkward to get stuck there in a big city like that when you know there's going to be at least one other team, normally 2 or 3, that can be with you there. As we're taking a look here at Ben V there for a second part of VIP. Once again, the total rankings there on the left side. You'll notice that it's very even in the middle. So everybody pretty much has a chance here. C9 yesterday. Looks like they're tied for 7th or 6th there, depending on how you want to look at the point system. Had a pretty average day. They ran into Unique that one time yesterday, if you do remember, on Vikendi, where it got a bit dicey. But overall, I feel like they have a pretty good chance to make it into tomorrow.
They had to be kicking themselves a little bit after that Erangel game, and I wonder if that kind of affected their performance in the Vikendi game. They should have wiped out. Now I'm trying to remember who they ran into there on the north side of the circle. They had a 3v1. They ended up losing in that last situation there. And then they couldn't carry it forward. Unique, it was Unique. You're right. You just mentioned that. Unique. And so then they end up getting, 1v2'd or 1v3'd there. And that kind of slowed down their momentum in the second game. Yeah, they finished in 4th place, but they had 0 kills.
Yeah, it's kind of a hard balance. You can try to go for placements, or you can try to go for kills, or you can just be straight up awesome and do both, like RRQ Athena. That's generally what is going to net you a very good placement. We were kind of joking that RRQ doesn't even really have to show up today because they made it into tomorrow. But, of course, they want to get a good placement and show some good games for all the Thai fans out there. Shout out to all you guys watching. As now we're taking a look here at EVOS. They didn't have the... they had a pretty good start. They got 8 points from placement and then 10 kills. But then their Vikendi game was kind of a rough one. They place in the bottom side, only got the 1 point and 0 kills. So kind of a half and half day for them yesterday.
Yeah, a little bit of surprise from one of our other SCA teams, a team from Indonesia. EVOS definitely looking to turn it around. Vikendi was a bit of a struggle for a lot of teams yesterday, as there was quite a bit of teams that survived very late into the game. The circle had a lot of Tovach in it, so quite a few teams set up shop inside of there, and then it just became an absolute nightmare to try to get out of the city once the circle moved away from it, and a couple of teams definitely just weren't able to get much other than a few kill points here or there, but EVOS was not one of those teams. They got no kills, so a struggle. The first round went quite well for them, so I expect them, Miramar tends to play a little bit more like Erangel. Not quite, but it's got longer sight lines for sure, so, if you have a team that has good snipers, you could do well. Maybe Bear from EGC, could do well. We saw him do a few things with the snipers yesterday, so just kind of keeping our eyes on players, seeing what they're doing. Ooh, ARW.
Might have our first big fight here as Elementrix running straight into our Japanese team here, ARW.
Yeah, ARW 9th place overall right now, so they're right on the bubble. Want to get things going early. Mr. Yozu is trying to put some shots into them, but they're underneath the hill right now, so just a few shots maybe to get them to back off, try and establish themselves is Elementrix, and with this Murado, ARW should be able to safely move forward.
Yeah, you'll notice that they were kind of in the middle of the mountain, and they saw the enemy team, but they decided, hey, we're not really ready to take this fight. Let's back away. And that's kind of that split-second decision that you do have to make at times, whether or not you do want to go for that fight. So first circle is going to close up here. The second one is going to head towards the north part here, actually.
Yeah, northeast. Now we're moving up towards Minas Generales. And there's a few teams up there. You got Queso once again right in the middle of the circle, so another pretty favorable start for them. Go6 got a pretty decent position. They might want to set up somewhere on the northern side of La Bendita for themselves. ETG, you can see RRQ was making a late rotation. Kind of keep our eyes on them. We're not super concerned about them right now. Yeah. Definitely more interested in what's going on. Whoa! That is a nice play by Futbolista.
Yeah, we didn't see the beginning of that, but the car got blown up, and there were 2 members in there from Elementrix, so an unfortunate situation for them. But fantastic for Footballists. They pick up the 2 kills plus the crate. So you'd have to imagine that there was just a bunch of action around that crate, and that's what led to those 2 kills. So a big play going to Footballists, and again, they didn't have the best time yesterday. Currently in 14th place, so maybe that's that Kickstarter to get them off to a better start here.
Great gear. They're going to be really decked out with that, so nothing they can complain about. And that's a nice camp of that crate. Good job finding a team, you know, getting a little greedy there and making them pay for it. You can see Eagle trying to make that SKS work. Of course, Miramar, sniper-friendly map, and Eagle, nothing really doing there. Gets a few shots at C9. Now we got Chowski. He is looking at, this is the German team. No rage, and they are coming across in a van, taking some damage. Those vans are kind of slow. They can take a bunch of damage, but this one's already smoking a bit.
Yeah, and you'll notice that No Rage is going to hop out of the car right now, the van there, and say, okay, you guys have gotten us smoking. We're not willing to take the risk to stick around in that vehicle. But you'll notice that Red Cannons, they're really not scared to take as many shots as possible at any kind of vehicle that is coming their way.
Well, it's smart. This is a really wide open road. If you can set up along the side on the ridges like the Canids have, you have a lot of clear sight lines across teams. And in fact, ARW is rolling up on the backside of this potentially as well. Now, NR has switched out vehicles. They've got a healthy van available because that other one already a little bit on fire. And those things, once they blow up, everybody inside of them dies. So now it looks like they are going to be able to successfully move forward. Cannons make them pay a little bit, force them, you know, 3 into 1 vehicle, which is not ideal.
Yeah, I was just looking at the map here. It's VIP against Footballists. It looks like down on the bottom side, the 2 of them going head-to-head in the blue right now. And a couple of vehicles trying to make their way in from the south side of this Miramar map. They're about to butt heads here right on the road, it looks like.
Yeah, Yakuza's got to be careful. He's already taken a bit of damage. He's on that motorcycle, so if he takes any more, he's just able to get over that hill in time. He will go down very, very quick. Then Footballist right behind them as there's Elementrix up front of them as well. So this could turn into a bit of a cluster on the southern end of the circle.
Bunch of damage taken from all the members there, but I didn't notice any big kills going down. So everybody seemingly going to make it safe into that second circle, but we have a third one coming on in. It's all the way up towards that northwest side. More up towards the Hacienda, it looks like. So gonna be pretty nice for ETG actually here. Entity Gaming, the team, remember that they did take a kill very early on, so they only have 3 members on the team so far, but in a pretty good spot for now.
So ETG's got to be careful because teams that are going to be coming from the southern side of them are going to have the high ground advantage on them coming up on that hill that's between that crossroads position. So yeah, ETG I think might opt to actually move out of here. I think this is quite wise by ETG. That spot that they're on, it's great for camping, great for catching teams in transition, not good for defending.
And that's exactly what they're going to do. They're driving up north right now. It looks like north of the road at least. They're not going to spend too much time as the wheels are spinning there for Maxon. He's going to have to hop out.
The wheels on the bus go round.
Yeah.
But don't go anywhere because now Red, he's going to have to go on foot for a bit, maybe get a pickup from one of his teammates. But that's really dangerous. That's a lot of time lost, and that's exposing yourself. You're giving away your location with the sound of the vehicle, so other teams might try to pounce on that. It doesn't look like Elementrix is really in a great position to do it, so they should be all right. But again, that's lost time, that's lost positioning for the Canids.
Looks like Maxon found a different vehicle to hop in with the help of his teammate there and begin the drive up north once again, as all of these teams are going to be migrating as it does stand. I was taking a look at Elementrix. They lost a couple of their members, but the other 2 of them on foot, just slowly making their way up towards that center. As I mentioned before, I mean, it does feel like these international teams taking a bit slower. They're a bit more cautious compared to our Group A teams.
And they seem to prefer edge play a little bit more. We saw the MENA teams really want to dive center circle early, so that kind of forces a lot of action as well because there's, you know, locations that are in the middle of these circles that are desirable. So you'll see teams that feel confident in their team fighting ability try to, you know, bounce other teams outside of those locations. Footballists, they are moving forward up along the eastern edge. towards the junkyard, and there is No Rage getting a little bit of damage down in. And the Red Cannons, like I was talking about, this is what kind of stinks when you have to go back and pick up a teammate.
Yeah.
You might get caught out yourselves.
Got to be careful about that, especially when you're up against No Rage, a team that really has nothing to lose. I mean, they're going to be taking shots at everybody. They are in 16th place. They got 1 kill yesterday. So it's really just about shooting at anything that moves right now for No Rage. And you got to be careful when you're going up against a team like that, as No Rage are going to be making their way in alongside Footballist into this third circle.
Yeah, absolutely. I want to see No Rage be really aggressive. They need the points desperately. You know, you want to play your game, but at the same time, when you're this far behind, you only have 2 more games to catch up. You got to get kills and you got to get placement points, and you know, you're so far behind. 3 points. 3 points. That's not good.
Well, you set the benchmark as around 36 points if you did want to make it into day 3, into that final day. So it is possible that this team could pick up more than 30 points today. It's not going to be easy, but we have seen teams do it yesterday. So we are taking a look here now at Unique coming in at the top right side of this circle.
And there's Jonathan, a player that Jason really, really likes. Only had 1 kill yesterday, and he's the star for the ETG team. So we're looking to see him kind of get it going for Entity Gaming a bit. ARW tried to get into the compound that ETG is in. They were stopped short here between Crossfire from ETG and EDG. That's a lot to say. A lot of E's and G's in there.
Yeah.
And so they got, you see here, they had to go for the res. They have to stop up. Now they're in a tricky spot because they're out in the middle of a field. Yes, they have a compound, but once it moves away from them, it gets really, really tricky to move outside of there. You don't got much cover to work with. You got a bit of a hill in front of you towards the south. And oh, EVOS, if they can get the angle down onto VIP, VIP may be very much in trouble.
Looks like they're taking some shots, though, from a different angle. From EGC, I believe, our Korean team, just looking at the minimap here. So they want to shell down onto VIP, but they can't quite stand up and have free reign to do it just yet. So a little bit of an awkward position, still going to be decent for them, as they can kind of just hang out there for now.
Yeah, C9 and Box are in a firefight. Meanwhile, on the southwestern part of things, there you can see it right there. C9 taking a bunch of damage. Box is putting the hurt onto them. EVOS as well getting into this from long range. So right now, C9 caught very much so. 2 of their members already knocked. Lewis here out of frag grenades, it looks like, so he is just trying to see if he can get some shots down. They have found a lip to work with, has C9, so let's see if they can get these revives going.
They're going to get a couple going here in Box. You'll notice that partially because of the way the map works, you don't want to just charge across this open area, especially with Zute still left available and looking and trying to guard there and provide that cover fire. As, ooh, okay, get your cameras out, guys. We got two views going on right now. The fight between Box and C9, as well as EVOS and VIP.
There are smokes here for C9, so they've got some cover from Box for now. Just putting some sprays down, trying to keep Box boxed out, because right now C9 does have the circle advantage. Haha, thanks.
Yeah.
So C9, they're on the edge of the circle here, so they can keep Box on the edge. They're trying to just keep them pinned down with this fire. Pyrrha's just going to come up, spray over. Oh, but a nice timing by Guh is going to get one of them. Lewis heals up uneven, still trying to put some shots in. Guh does take a little bit more damage here, and up and over is Lewis. He's going to get some shots. The blue is here now. Lewis might not be able to heal in time. No, indeed, he does go down.
What an insanely close fight there, but you called it early on. C9 had the better positioning there inside the circle. They are going to massacre that entire squad and get a nice little position there at the southwest of the circle. Good for them, able to pick off the first squad here actually on Miramar.
Yeah, now VIP is in a similar situation, maybe even a little worse than what Box is in. EVOS has a significant high ground advantage. They're in the circle. They're taking damage. They're trying to pump, block out, get some more damage. Here comes EVOS. They're just going to flank around and try to finish this. Yes, indeed. They will do it. Down goes VIP.
Yeah, and I mean, they had a fantastic position there right above VIP. Casey does get knocked. I didn't quite see where that was from, but it looks like our Korean team is making a move now. We talked about this before as well. They had eyes on EVOS the entire time. The Korean team, not necessarily known for being extremely aggressive, but very opportunistic. They're going to make their move when they can, and already a knock coming in.
Yeah, they've got the high ground. The problem is C9 has an angle onto the side of this hill, so yes, they can try to come over and put some hurt into EVOS, but you can see Zute, the other member of C9, realize something similar. Now that circle is going to funnel things in nicely for Bear with that AUG. He's going to get the first knock, and now there are 2 more members in the blue for EVOS. They are going down very quickly. This may well be the end for EVOS.
Look at the pot shots coming out here from Zute. Not a care in the world, just sitting out in the open on Miramar, just picking them off. And he's going to be feeling really good about that one, as now things are getting really dicey here in this little compound with the containers. You got to be careful when you do come in, and the smokes are coming out as well.
There are so many teams here. No Rage does go down in the background. Gosik has the warehouse, but that warehouse is quite exposed from the western angle. And you've also got a bunch of other teams popping in here. EGC has pushed forward now. They're going to try to outflank the other teams, just try to get ahead of them. But there's a lot of other teams up in these compounds. I'm not sure what they're going to do here. Satan goes down right away. B-Side has to lay down for himself. He might be dead to rights too. And here comes RRQ from out of nowhere.
You got to be really careful making that aggressive of a move when there are this many teams left available on this phase. RRQ just sitting here picking up the money and the kills. 3 kills so far. As C9, they've seen a lot of action here. They're going head-to-head with Top Esports now.
Yeah, Top Esports needs to turn it around right now. They've just got to res off one other member down. Grenades up and over. RRQ is decimating some teams on the side of all of this. Top Esports is very, very beat up. And once again, Cloud9 has a pretty good position on them. Now, Top Esports is in the circle, so they might be okay for a bit. But let's see how aggressive Cloud9 wants to get. Beowulf trying to get up and over, seeing if he can get information on those other teams. But look at this. RRQ Athena, so good, so patient, so disciplined, waiting to strike, and now they have great position on the western edge.
Yeah, it really is about that position as well. They have that hill for cover towards the south side of the road, as you can see here. G9 just using that to get pot shots down onto Top Esports. They're not really caring too much about anyone to the left side. And now they're taking a bunch of damage here. C9 and as G9 going to take out a couple of them.
Yeah, some great shooting there from G9. Absolutely putting some nails into C9. They are 2 down now, and they are trying to find a way in. And, ooh, look at Queso's getting some crossfire from Beowulf. Beowulf trying to get some points. Ooh, over on the right, I believe that was Marco who put some shots in him. Beowulf doing a good job putting some pressure onto Queso, getting some decent shots in there. But Queso is going to try to get in this buggy and get out. That is super dangerous. I don't know if this is going to work. There is smoke there for them to use as cover. Beowulf is able to secure that kill onto Marco. So good job. The cannons are coming up behind this. Oh my gosh, is this actually going to work?
Look at Elia. He's just like, I'm out of here, boys. See you later.
Well, he's got the tractor. He's got a prone down. The real question is does anyone have an angle on him? He's trying to put some shots into that to keep people off of him. He's going to be able to use that tractor tire. Nope, never mind. Unique's got him. Yasha's going to finish him off.
Kind of a hilarious state of affairs there for that player, Yalla. Just doing what he could. Knew that it was just desperation time, and I don't think they got too many kills on top of that, so Team Queso got to be careful. RRQ, I feel like, you know, they just have a better understanding of the map, and they've been using their positions so well. No team has even come close to trying to challenge them at all with where they're sitting, and I can't see any of these teams that are on the map right now that can do anything to charge in there.
No, they were so patient, and I bet they were pretty surprised to find this part of the map unoccupied. They basically control a quarter of this map until this new circle came. Before that, they controlled so much because of this lip that rings all the way around the side of the road here, and they're just able to pop up and take shots at people and get back to safety very, very easily. And that is going to continue to benefit them for a little while longer. Circle is still on top of them, so you can see them. Senior's got that M24 there, just seeing if he can find any heads to pop. We saw him be very, very good, and there is a crate up in front of them. That one is not going to be easy to get. That's probably going to be a crate that's just going to turn into cover later game and benefit possibly RRQ Athena, depending on which way this circle goes.
Yeah, RRQ Athena is kind of just chilling for now. The real question is, which one of these other teams is going to be in a good position. ETG, they took the first casualty, but they've been good on top of that circle the entire time, getting pretty lucky with where those circles are going.
And once again, top eSports goes out. A better placement for them, but not many kills. So this is going to be a really difficult final game for them. They are really going to need to put up a ton of points. Senior moving forward. G9's already got a bit of a position. Senior's taking a bit of damage, and he is going to get knocked by Goskilla. Nikola with some pretty good shooting up on the hill. He's got the other members with him. Kitsune there. They've got to be real careful behind that van. A good grenade could spell disaster for the three of them.
ETG just hanging out here in the little cabin in the desert, it looks like there, and they really have not moved much. They've just been happy to sit around. Take a look at all rejection coming in here. Nearly said something else, as Clinton may have yesterday.
No, I don't know what you're talking about. All right, now Goskilla's in trouble. They got to cross the road, and they have no cover. They don't have any smokes. Ooh, ETG. Somebody's going to get knocked. It's Ernie. Here comes the grenade from D2E. It's not going to get anybody, it looks like. Ernie is right by Uber. Uber, is he going to go up and try to get the kill, or is he just trying to go for placement points here? I think he might be going for placements. I don't think Ernie saw him. Ernie wasn't able to look up and over in the truck. Now, RRQ is going to push through. Is Uber going to be the thorn in the side here for RRQ? No, he's just going to wait. He's not even interested in this. RRQ just absolutely demolishes ETG.
I love Uber's play. He's found the one spot on this map where he can stay hidden for the rest of it. He's going to let RRQ and Unique go head-to-head, and we'll see him at the end of this match.
I think this is actually going to work out for him pretty well. Ernie somehow didn't see him in there. Now Ernie's behind this rock. Ernie takes some damage, isn't able to get the spray. He's going to get knocked, so that's the first one down for RRQ. A good little push from Unique, but now they're on top of a hill. And this is D2E. Some grenades coming through from Unique. D2E's trying to cover the right-hand side. Senior on the left. Is that a frag there? If it is, it bounced a bit too far. Indeed, it did. That Molotov is keeping D2E stuck inside. Some sprays coming through, nothing really landing. So Unique, they don't really, doesn't look like they have any smoke, so this is almost impossible going downhill without anything in front of them. Now should be Uber's time to strike. He should right now be really thinking about getting up and trying to win this game.
He's going to be waiting until that last second, though. He is looking now. They have no idea that he's here.
He's got to take D2E. He had him dead to rights here, or Senior. I don't care which. He's got to shoot. He needs to take one of them out.
Yeah, I mean, even just that extra kill is going to be the extra point that could push them over the edge into the final day. So you don't only want to get that position. You want to also pick up a couple of kills if possible, but he's playing it as passively as humanly possible.
Yeah, so there were some smokes left for Unique. They didn't throw them out right away. They decided to wait. They lost a member because of it. Now Senior trying to get the angle. D2E as well as flanking. Uber, you gotta go, man. Oh, Rogue. Rogue with a nice out duel there onto D2E. So that's pretty nice for Unique. Now they got to worry about Senior. Senior is sneaking up beside them. Let's see if Yasha or Rogue can see him. He's got that M4 ready to go and is trying to box him in. I don't know. Did Uber just die to the circle? Uber, I don't know what's going on there.
Senior took them both out, and Uber, who knows what happened to him? He kind of just disappeared. That's third place for them. 0 kills for ARW, but first place going to RRQ. They got a bunch of kills yesterday, but this time finally picking up that first place position.
Like we said, they didn't even need to show up in this lobby to make it through to the finals. Instead, they are just going to pull off another huge win. 13 kills in that game. They look unstoppable right now, Jason.
They look fantastic, and I do want to touch on one thing, though, about Uber there.